And bang! What is up, our Will Fuel number one fans of yours, Scott Casey Gale here, and today I'm gonna give you my recap and review of another personal no favorite comedy classic of mine called Bill and Ted's that's Bogus Journey, the underrated sequel to the 1989 comedy classic Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, which in my opinion, I think that Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey is a very underrated sequel and doesn't get enough credit as it deserves. Because I really enjoyed this. As a matter of fact, I think I liked it a little bit more than Excellent Adventure, but both sequels are amazing. Okay, let's begin with the recap and review, shall we? Here we go. Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey is a 1991 American science fiction comedy film and the featured directorial debut of Pete Hewitt. It is the second film in the Bill and Ted franchise and a sequel to Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. Starring Keanu Reeves, Alex Winter, and the late George Carlin reprised their roles. The film's original working title was Bill and Ted Go to Hell, and the film's soundtrack featured the song Go to Hell by Megadeth, which Dave Mustaine wrote for the film. The film, which partially spoofs the Seventh Seal, received mixed reviews from critics, but has since gained a cult following like its predecessor. It says a sequel to Bill. Okay, the plot. The music of Bill and Ted's band, the Wild Stallions, has created a utopian future society in 2691. Former gym teacher John Taylor's Chuck the Nominalos attacks the Bill and Ted University and steals a time-traveling phone booth, intending to alter the history of what he considers to be a foolish and frivolous society by sending evil robot replicas of Bill and Ted back to the late 20th century to prevent the originals from winning the San Dimas Battle of the Bands. Rufus attempts to stop the Nominalos, but seemingly becomes lost in the circuits of time. Several years after their adventure through time, Wild Stallions is auditioning for an upcoming Battle of the Bands. Though Bill and Ted's current girlfriends and former 15th century princesses Joanne and Elizabeth have become skilled musicians, Bill and Ted are still inept. Despite this, their organizer, Miss Wardrobe, assures them a slot in the contest as the final act. Following a party, Bill and Ted propose to Joanne and Elizabeth right as the evil robots arrive from the future. After luring the real Bill and Ted away to Vasquez Rocks and killing them by throwing the two over the side of a cliff, the robots begin working to wound the duo's eventual fame along the relationship with their fiancés. In the afterlife, Bill and Ted's souls are met by Death, also known as the Grim Reaper, played by William Sadler, who says they may challenge him in a game for their souls, but warns that nobody has ever won. Bill and Ted escape after giving Death a Melvin, also known as a Reggie, and are unsuccessful at alerting the police through the possession of Ted's father and a deputy. Eventually cast down into hell at a sentence held by Missy. Tormented by Satan and forced to face their own fears, the duo realize the only escape is to take Death's offer, who appears and allows them to choose a game. To Death's dismay, Bill and Ted select modern games like Battleship, Clue, Electric Football, and Twister. Death is beaten every time, so in the end, he reluctantly admits defeat and places himself at Bill and Ted's command. Realizing they need to locate the smartest person in the universe was to help build robots to counter the Nominalos. The Nominalos is evil robots. Death escorts Bill and Ted to heaven, where they are directed by God to an alien duo named Station, who readily agrees to help the group. On the eve of the Battle of the Bands, Bill and Ted return to the mortal world and race to the concert as Station constructs benevolent robot versions of themselves from supplies picked up at a hardware store. Elsewhere, evil Bill and Ted abduct Joanna and Elizabeth and tie them high above the stage as the Battle of the Bands, intending to drop them at the finale. Bill and Ted arrive just as the evil robots take the stage. The benevolent robots easily defeat their evil counterparts, and Joanna and Elizabeth are lowered by Station. before the war breaks. The Nominals appears in the booth in the time booth, prepared to kill Bill and Ted himself, overriding the broadcasting equipment to send a live feed of the confrontation across the entire planet. Bill and Ted deduce that they can go back in time following the encounter to arrange events for the Nominals to be captured in the present. Though the Nominals attempts to do the same, Bill and Ted gain the upper hand by explaining that it is only the winners who get to go back. After the Nominals is distracted by Deb and arrested by Ted's father, Miss Wardrobe reveals herself to be a disguised Rufus who urges them to play. Acknowledging that they are still terrible musicians, Bill and Ted decide to use the booth and immediately return to the auditorium with their families, which is now Little Ted and Little Bill, after spending 16 months of intense guitar training along a 2-week honeymoon, joined by Deb. The Stallions and the Good Robots on stage. Wild Stallions performs a stunning rock and roll ballad as the worldwide broadcast sent by the Nominals continues, broadcasting their music across the globe and creating harmony. Following their win at the Battle of the Bands, Wild Stallions encounter many perks of fame that help them fulfill their destinies and create the utopian society with their music and eventually taking the act to Mars. And I gotta say, I would give this sequel 5 stars, 10 out of 10, 10 out of 10, and an A triple plus. I really enjoyed this. I love this. I mean, I think that William Sadler did a very good job as Steph, also known as the Good Keeper. I also found it funny that Missy, Bill's former stepmom, who was married to Bill's dad in Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, was married to Ted's dad in this one, which is pretty funny. But I don't know, all the characters are great storytelling and perfect ending. And I also loved how I thought the Easter Bunny in this movie was pretty creepy. But I don't know, like I love seeing that trip through hell and how they defeated death and how he agreed to help them. Everything about Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey is just absolutely amazing. I highly recommend it if you haven't seen it, because it's definitely a very worthy sequel and definitely a comic classic. And like I said earlier, I think it's very, very underrated. I really enjoyed it. So comment down below in the comments. You can tell me what you liked about Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey. Did you like Excellent Adventure better, or did you like Bogus Journey better? Anyway, you stay classy, live long and prosper, and peace out. I will be back in a bit to reveal Bill and Ted Face the Music.